This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles.
25 Whistles.
Oh, yeah. 25 Whistles presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with the code BobbySports, because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details. Whistle. Let's start the show. Parlay, we missed.
Oh, guys.
If we're to mention the Michigan game first, they did win, but that was a close game.
I know. And they were up by double digits in the first half.
And I'm not even talking about covering. I'm talking about they're supposed to still be mad. Have they run out of madness?
No.
They did win, and Harbaugh wasn't there. But next week, man, that's the game. It's the game of the year.
Game of the week. Game of the year.
Game of the life.
Yeah.
I thought it was last week, so I'm happy it's this week.
Ohio State?
Yeah.
I think it's Michigan -4 as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Harbaugh will not be on the sideline. And I don't know. I think if one of them beats the other by 17 or more, one of them won't make the playoff. I think if it's within single digits, I think one absolutely makes the playoff. I think if it's 10 to 16, depending on where that touchdown falls, because again, these are computer plus human vote. It's a combination because the humans do feed in a lot of the information that the computer then takes and builds an algorithm for and says, this is our order. But if it's over 17, I just don't see, like last year, one of them will get kicked out.
So you're saying computer does it first, then the humans vote on it?
I say that the humans get to put in a lot of their bias and perspective, and I don't know. Humans always screw it up, though.
Sure.
It's not just so I know they try to make it as computer as possible, but I was reading a story about how even if you computerize everything, the human has to actually set up the computer. So
True.
What do I know, dude? I just think that what's going to happen here is there's probably going to be a blowout again, and one of them gets left out.
Really?
I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care which side.
So Maryland can make it a close game, but Ohio State's not?
Oh no, I think Ohio State wins.
Oh.
Even though they're a 4-point dog, I will be betting them money line.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah,
That offense ain't very good.
correct.
And that Michigan defense is really good.
I agree. Yeah.
Still going to do it.
It doesn't matter, though, with these two teams. It doesn't matter. So, especially a game this close, where the spread's only 4, they're anticipating those two teams are equal because they're in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
So, those two teams are equal in their mind because Michigan is getting 3 points for just being at home. So, if they're playing at a neutral site, it's a 1-point game. So, in the minds of the humans to the computers, like I said, humans and computers.
Yeah.
They're pretty equal teams. But then Michigan's home field advantage. But then Michigan also doesn't have their head coach. Michigan's also, and it didn't play very well against Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that one happened. Kansas State, I bet them -7.5. They did not cover, but they won again.
Great game.
I didn't even care that much.
That you missed the parlay?
I just like to see them win.
Yeah, man,
And it was
it's
a good
awesome.
game because Kansas played well. And I guess Kansas' coach is not going to Michigan State. I was told by some pretty good sources that he was out. That he was going. Leopold, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Leipold.
Yeah.
Lance Leipold.
I like Leopold.
I like that too.
Makes me feel like it's that ice cream with all 3 flavors.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Leopolitan.
I was thinking of like a general back in like the 1700s.
Oh, that's good, too.
Napoleon?
Yeah.
Or like a lion. Leopold.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
That's good too.
We're watching this show called My Best Friend the Spy. Did I mention this already?
Mm-mm.
That's probably not the name of it, but it's got the guy Damon, who may be Australian, and he was in the show with Carrie over in the Middle East.
Homeland.
And then he was in the show about billions of dollars.
Billions.
Thank you. And so now he's in this.
Never saw that.
But he plays a British spy, and this other guy's a British spy.
A Spy Among Friends.
Boom.
He's the redhead from Homeland?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
And I think he might be Australian. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He's something that's not American.
Correct.
But he's British in this. And I don't like the colors of shows like this.
What do you mean?
I struggle with dark colors anyway, and it's very dark greeny, dark bluey, kind of grainy.
Got it. I like that. Whenever movies have a tint like that.
Yeah, it's definitely tinted because it is World War, I don't know.
1 or 2.
Yeah, something. But everybody hates Germany and Russia, and these two spies, the whole purpose is, are they telling the truth or lying? Because one of them gets in trouble immediately. And it's only 6 episodes. It's based on a book, and the book was nonfiction. And they do that thing where they're like, this is based off a nonfiction book. Some of the characters have been dramatized, meaning they're getting as close as they possibly can. They just don't want to get sued.
Correct. That's all that
So
means.
if they just say that, and we're 3 in of 6 total, it is. I was watching it last night with my wife, and I'm like, man, the only reason I like this show is because I'm an adult. If I were a kid, I would have hated this show. Eddie, you'll hate it. It's too much talking.
I don't like dialogue.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I do like dialogue movies. It's just got to be really good if it's dialogue.
I know.
But if it's like a movie about something big that's supposed to happen and all they do is talk about it, I hate it. Like
Yeah,
there was a movie back in the day called
wouldn't like this.
13 Days. It was like about the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it was literally 2 hours of people in a meeting. And I'm like, why would I want to watch a movie on this?
Mike, you see that one, 13 Days or whatever?
Is that Kevin Costner?
Yeah, something like yeah.
It's fantastic dialogue. man.
Nah, it's
That's
terrible.
the point of it.
And mostly what we're referring to is the movie about the bomb.
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
And you hated it.
Yeah, man. I'm like, where's the bomb? And all they're doing is talking about the bomb. Like, I want to see the bomb.
It's the build up to the bomb.
Isn't the whole movie about if and when the bomb, not the bomb going off?
Yes, and the moral ramifications of the bomb.
and
the
arguing
history
about
of
the
it.
bomb. Like, should we build it this way? No, we shouldn't build it that way. It's like, come on, let's see the bomb.
And when did Mike? You liked Oppenheimer,
Oh,
right?
I
You
loved
saw it in
Oppenheimer.
theaters. You went immediately.
Yeah.
And when does it come out on my screen?
It'll probably be out, I think, next week.
Let's go. I can't wait. I can't wait to sit and just eat dialogue. Nom, 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 nom.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. Because here's the deal, too. I saw it on IMAX. Like, they were making a big deal. Like, oh, you got to watch it on the big screen. For what? To see a big face talk?
Oh,
Like,
no, that made it so much better. 70 millimeter IMAX. Oh,
That's pretty
fantastic.
funny, Eddie.
I'm like, now I just see big faces.
Why do I need to watch it on IMAX? Because all they're doing is talking.
Correct.
But it made the bomb scene so much better.
So there is a bomb scene.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a bomb.
Hey, wait for it.
Wow. Okay. All that to say, that show's pretty good. We're 3 in.
Spies Like Us, what's it called?
Wait,
It's
what
called
were we
Spy
talking
Kids.
about?
It's my kids, too. Shark Boy.
We were bouncing back and forth last night between that and the Vikings and Denver, which, by the way, I guess Russ Wilson's pretty good again.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
All of a sudden.
It's probably a good coach now.
Sean Payton, yeah.
Russ Wilson, I guess, is pretty good. I don't think he's great again, but he doesn't have to. The AFC is so stacked. It's going to be tough for them to make the playoffs, but they might make playoffs, which is crazy to think.
Yeah, they needed this win.
Oklahoma State, it was Eddie's bet. He bet money line.
We got it.
Which was a weak bet, but you bet it, and
We-
they would have covered too.
They would have covered.
But you didn't pick the cover, so
They were down early. Were you scared or no?
I was puckered.
no.
for sure.
I suck. Kevin sucks.
Yep.
I was happy though that Michigan did win. I love the drama. I was happy that Kansas State did win. We love those guys. Cooper Beebe is, the guy that we did our episode with.
Yeah, he's much
like-
bigger on TV. I mean, he was big in person, don't get me wrong, but on TV, on that line, he is humongous.
And he's like the guy, like the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that they highlight him, and he keeps getting finalists in all of these big offensive lineman awards. And good dude. You can watch him in our Kansas State episode of Too Much Access. But they won again, and good for them.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got to the TV thing. Leopold,
Yeah, me neither.
he's not going to Michigan State, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
The coach, we went from Kansas coach to Netflix shows.
Okay, before I hit the tittle tattle, does anybody have anything to say?
Huh?
What?
Want to do something wrong?
Yeah, are you setting us up?
No, but you all look like you're itching to jump in on that at some point because I just kept talking. If there's
Nah.
anything I skated over. Good?
No, I mean, we're going to go over games, right?
Okay, let's get to the tit. Go.
The stupidest name ever is the tittle tattle with kickoff Kevin.
With Caleb Williams going to the NFL and USC joining the Big Ten next year, do you think it's possible Lincoln Riley leaves USC?
Bro, Lincoln Riley has not been a very good coach this year. What's he going to do? Who's going to hire him? This has not been his resume leader. It's crazy how bad USC has been.
Yeah. You know what's even worse than their defense, I think, is their offensive line.
All of the big people have kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Like if you're supposed to be big,
You mean like physically big? Like
Yeah.
the big size
like
people?
fat guys, strong guys.
Okay.
But he's always had trouble with fat guys, strong guys. Even at Oklahoma, it was always fast guys, quarterbacks. And
So big fat guys are not his specialty. is what
big
you're
or
saying.
fat or big fat.
Correct.
And you need both. You need big guys.
Sure.
And then you also need big fat guys. But you also need little guys. You also need quick guys that are big. But this has not been a good year for Lincoln Riley. They play LSU and Michigan in 2 of their first 3 games next year.
Oof. It's gonna be a rough start.
He's in year 2, and he signed a 10-year, $110 million deal. And they have that 5-star kid, Malachi Nelson. I mean, he's going to be their starting quarterback next year.
What if he leaves?
Bro, I don't know what's going on over there. I tend to do this with Lincoln Riley. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because this has been a bad year. Absolutely. He's going to have to make a defensive coordinator change, which he did. He got rid of his guy that's been with him forever. But he's a good coach, and he's won everywhere. And so this has been a bad year. So you give him a bad year. If it happens again next year, then you probably start to wonder what's going to happen with him. I don't know if they're going to fire him. I don't know if America can afford to pay Jimbo and Lincoln, even though it's not the same coming from the same account. I don't think our country has enough money to pay both of those people off.
We're pretty rich.
I think the buyout was, I saw like 80 to 90 million.
It's wild.
If it happened.
Think about if it's, let's just say it's what Jimbo's was, which was say 70 on the low end, 140 million to just buy coaches out. And then you got to pay other coaches, right?
Yeah.
Think about the good things you could have done with that money and like the communities.
Why do you pay? Yeah, that's a good point. But why do you pay other coaches? Because they're all attached. Like they brought
No, you got to
them.
pay. Well, first of all, partially, but I'm saying you got to pay the other coach to come and take the job.
Yeah. The new coach. Gotcha.
So you got to pay the buyout, but then let's say you're going to hire Reed as the head coach, or you got to pay Reed $5 million a year, and that's very low. So Reed, would you take the job?
Yeah, 100%.
What would your offensive scheme probably be based around?
I'd probably say a play that I heard from a guy back in the day that has to do with Ring Around the Rosie. And
Nice. Thank you, Reed. Okay.
That'll work.
I don't think he leaves for a job in any way whatsoever. I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think anybody wants him.
Yeah.
Too much money up for. Why would he leave when he's making that much money also at USC? And you don't want to leave with a bad taste in your mouth here.
Yeah, he's got to try to turn it around.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, and he can easily. I do think he can easily. All right, what else?
At a quiet 10-1, does Louisville deserve a shot at the college football playoff?
They do if some other things fall into place. Meaning, let's go SEC championship. Let's go Georgia, Alabama. Let's say Georgia wins that game. Okay? Alabama, 2 losses, out. Let's say Michigan, Ohio State. Let's just say one of them's out because one of them whoops another one. So we'll put the Big Ten team in there. Because there's also a scenario where you have 2 SECs and 2 Big Tens, which would be hilarious. A hilarious playoff of those 2 conferences.
Oh, my gosh.
So, okay, so then you have 2. So then you have a possible Texas. Let's say Texas loses in the Big 12 championship. They lose. They could lose a couple times. Who cares? Okay? So who else is up there? Then Oregon and Washington. So let's say
Florida State.
Florida State's done. They lost a quarterback.
Okay.
You can't put them in now.
Yeah.
They're going to have to win out, be undefeated, and they will get put in then. But if they lose one game, they're out because, again, those humans are going to go, we can't put him in, that team in without their starting quarterback.
And I think they have to win big both games. They play, I think, Florida this
I don't
weekend?
think you can keep them out undefeated, even without their quarterback. I think
Gotta give them a chance.
I think an undefeated Florida State team, if they win 2 more games without their quarterback and they're undefeated, even though we probably all think there's no way, I still think you have to give the undefeated team in a Power 5 conference a spot in the 4. But let's say they lose. They're out.
Okay.
Who do we have left? Washington, Oregon. I think one of those teams gets in. I think Oregon is now better than Washington, but if they play a close game, they could actually both get in. How do you feel about 2 teams from the Pac-12?
But Oregon has to win because Oregon with 2 losses, there's no way,
correct.
right?
Oregon with a close win over Washington. But let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say Washington wins, Oregon's out. That's 2 losses.
Okay.
So far, the only teams we have in are Georgia, the Big Ten team, we'll just say Michigan since they're the favorite, and Washington. Okay, who's left? It's not LSU. They got 2 losses. They didn't even make the SEC championship.
3
losses, excuse me. Thank you.
It's Louisville.
I think, which is my point, a lot of things have to happen.
Crazy.
But I think then it's Louisville. Because who else would it be? I just don't think you can put LSU in for any reason whatsoever. And I know they're kind of in the, do we let them in? No.
No.
No, you're not going to let a 2-loss team in, much less a 3. So, yes, I think they deserve it if some things fall through. I don't think they're one of the best 4 or 5 teams, though.
No.
But the Florida State thing sucks for Florida State.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. And Jordan Travis. That sucks.
Listen to this, though. They play Kentucky, and then they're going to play Florida State in the ACC title game.
That's Louisville schedule.
So one of those teams is kind of going to eliminate each other anyway.
Yeah.
They won't for sure play their way in, both of them, but for sure one of them would get eliminated regardless if that game depends on it.
How did their backup quarterback do? Because when did he go the first
Early.
half?
Yeah,
Early.
they were down 13-0, and then they won 58-13, I think.
They just were bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, they played Southern Alabama or something.
They played us. They played 25 whistles, rec team.
Our team.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
pretty-
North Alabama.
It's pretty cool that Louisville is there, but if you're 10-1 and you're in the ACC, that's not the same thing as 10-1 in the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC, the Pac-12. They just need some things to happen.
But if this was like Clemson in the ACC, they would
Absolutely,
be up there, right?
Because they have earned over the last few years the humans to go, I believe in that coach. He's done it before. I believe in the program. But Louisville hasn't. It's unfair.
All right, I hear you.
But the humans in the computers.
Right. Humans first, then computers.
Yes.
Because we made the computers.
Correct. All right, go ahead.
Going to the NFL with their teams having completely different seasons, do you think the Panthers are regretting not taking CJ Stroud in the draft?
If they fire Frank Reich after 1 year with no weapon,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it is a disaster. I know that owner really likes to be meddly with that team. I would too. If I was the owner, I'd be the secret second coach. I'd be like, I own the team. You guys do whatever you think's best. Yeah, right. I got an earbud. Hey, it'd be really. I'm with my friends. They would love to see a flea flicker. I'd be doing that crap like crazy. So
Secretly.
yeah, but in an earpiece. Yeah. I'd be like, guys, watch this. Watch this. You guys want to see a center sneak? Watch this. Watch this.
Dude, that'd be a great party.
Yes, coach. Watch. What do you need? Center sneak, please. So, I watch Bryce Young, and I know he threw a bad pick yesterday. The Cowboys.
Sure.
Threw that pick six. The guy's got four. By the way, four
Yeah, I think he's
four
got
pick sixes.
4 pick sixes, 7 interceptions in the year. Like,
Wild.
Killing it.
That being said, I think Bryce Young is a good quarterback. I really do. His interceptions are so calm and composed.
He does look calm and composed, even
That's true.
afterwards.
He's thrown 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The Panthers are 1-9. But maybe they are, but I don't think it's because of Bryce Young. If they are wanting CJ Stroud, it's simply because of CJ Stroud, which I don't think is a shot against Bryce Young. I still think Bryce Young is going to be a really good quarterback if he can just have any sort of help. I have no reason to like him. He played for Alabama. I don't care about that. He beat the crap out of us. He was nice to us, though. He was nice.
very nice to
Yeah.
us.
I forgot about that part.
Good kid.
Yeah, but I've watched almost every Panther game. And remember, let me mention a couple other quarterbacks who had very similar, even worse rookie years. Maybe Trevor Lawrence, maybe Peyton Manning. Terrible. Played for bad teams with no help. Terrible rookie seasons because they let him play the whole season. That's part of the glory. You just can't compare him to CJ Stroud, who's just out of his mind. Although he went very rookie yesterday, second half.
Yeah, he had the yardage, but yeah, three
Did
interceptions.
picks.
Yeah,
He tried to lose the game.
that one touchdown, though, the long one to take Dell. Oh, that was dirty.
It was awesome.
That was dirty.
Hey, and do teams, like, after it's said and done, like with the draft and everything, do they ever, like, mid-season go like, man, we should have gotten CJ Stroud? Like,
Probably
you
to
think
each other.
Really?
Quietly.
I bet there's like a scout that's like, man, I tried to tell them to draft
Every week.
CJ.
Well, what word on the street is, because you guys know where I'm from, the streets.
Yeah, that's right.
The owner was pushing hard for Stroud
Oh,
because Frank Reich, his thing has always been big, pocket, strong arm quarterbacks. That's not really
Bryce Young.
what Bryce Young is.
Right.
But I still think Bryce Young's a good quarterback. I think he will be a good quarterback.
I agree.
I was watching Kyler Murray yesterday. Is he the smallest player ever to play in the NFL? How does he look smaller than ever?
He looks tiny.
He gets lost.
It's like a child.
Yeah.
I never used to think that, but it's like a child running around out there. It's like I start to feel bad for him. Like, leave the kid alone. Don't hurt the little kid. But Panthers, I thought, played the Cowboys. Eddie, your Cowboys almost played that game too close.
Yeah, they did. They sure did. And then defense turned into good defense. And
At the end of the game, the score does not reflect really how close
Correct.
the game was throughout the game. And then CJ Stroud tried to lose that game.
yeah.
But also, that's a rookie. A rookie's supposed to do that sometimes. But also, what it tells me about the Texans is they can win games. They're not playing awesome.
I know.
They don't have to play out of their mind to win a game, and that's what the good teams do.
That's amazing.
They win games that they kind of sucked in.
Yeah.
So kind of cool to see. It's kind of cool to see the Texans win.
Yeah, it's fun.
And they got a rookie coach.
Yeah.
They got a rookie quarterback.
And then even Will Anderson's having a good year, which
Yeah.
is kind of quietly. Yeah, it's fun.
You gotta like a team with no weapons, no big name weapons, doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Or weapons you didn't think were weapons.
Yeah.
Until they said, "Here I am."
We're weapons.
Did you guys see Myles Garrett without a shirt on? Oh my God.
Is he a monster?
I mean,
Hey, what does it look like? Describe it.
so he. By the way, playing the Steelers yesterday, the Steelers almost won that game. They came back at 1. Cleveland wins.
Yeah.
But however, there was one point where the Steelers helmet, the quarterback's helmet went on,
saw
and Myles Garrett picked it up. Now remember, he once grabbed the Steelers helmet.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's right. Hit the quarterback.
yes. It was so funny
Who
to
was
watch
that
the Steelers players.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. To watch them grab that helmet back from him.
That was
Not
so
this time.
funny.
The Cleveland defense is awesome.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett was in gray sweatpants and no shirt. He had muscles I didn't even know existed. And then his humongous dong in his sweatpants.
What? Really? You can see it?
Yeah. And the only reason I even thought about it, I was wearing sweatpants at my show in Louisville, and I told Eddie, I need to go change my pants before we do meet and greet because it looked like a tiny turtle head. His looked like
Yeah.
Myles Garrett's looked like he had an anaconda.
Sure.
And I put over our picture because I posted a picture of Eddie and I in Louisville eating ice cream or whatever it was. And you could see like a tiny pinky poke coming out of mine.
Did you censor it?
I did. I just put the Louisville tag where we are over the top. But I think that's why I noticed the Myles. I mean, maybe the greatest body I've ever seen on a dude
Wow.
is wild.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
As soon as you said gray sweatpants, I was like, is he going where I think he's going with this?
I don't know if he knew what he was doing, but if I look
he
like
knows.
that,
You know what
I
you're
would
doing.
He knows.
I
He
would
knows.
wear suits made of sweatpants. I would show up to prom in a sweatpants tuxedo and like, look at this ding-a-ling. Oh, okay. What else you got?
Last one, after another one possession loss on Sunday, is Brandon Staley of the Chargers the next coach to get fired.
You know, they should just take him and Eberflus and be like, all right, guys, pick a number 1 through 10. Okay. Okay, good. You're both fired. It doesn't even matter the number they picked.
Any number they
And
lose.
the Bears, yeah, huh?
So I'll start with the Chargers first. And you could tell Staley was getting upset when they asked him if he was still going to call defensive plays. I don't know how he makes it through the rest of the season, much less into next year.
Mm-hmm.
They're just losing too much. Yeah. And he's probably a big reason that Herbert, I don't believe in Justin Herbert, even though he throws like crazy, he doesn't win games. Herbert's one game under 500, his total career record himself. He did throw a pass. He did throw a couple passes that were just straight dropped, but he also threw a pick. I'm not a Herbert believer
Anymore.
ever.
Never?
I only believe because people told me to believe.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
still see what they see because he looks awesome. But he doesn't win. They don't win. I think Staley gets fired. I think Eberflus now gets fired. The crazy thing about the Bears was Justin Fields looked good. They should have won that game.
Oh, yeah.
They had Detroit on the ropes.
Yeah.
Detroit scored twice in the last.
In like 2 minutes.
Like Goff ran down and scored in like a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then, it was so annoying because I had a bunch of money on it. But I think that Ron Rivera's probably gone in Washington, but they'll let him finish because I think they brought him in for stability reasons. I don't think you bring in Riverboat Ron and just go, all right, we need you to, you're a 60-year-old man, really give us a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah.
They brought him in because that program, it feels like a program. I mean, Dan Snyder, when he owned it, and they brought him in just to be some kind of guiding little oar you put on the back of the boat. Just
Through all the changes.
just
yeah.
crazy. So, Frank Reich, they shouldn't fire Frank Reich. They shouldn't. I hope they don't. If they do, it's a meddling owner. I'm telling you, another team's going to grab him immediately. Eberflus, out. Staley, out. And we did a bit, if you remember, like 4 months ago, we're like, what's going to happen? Taylor Swift and Kelsey break up? And I was like, Josh McDaniels will get fired first.
That's right.
And Josh McDaniels did get fired.
And Taylor's still together with Travis.
Correct.
Through the holidays.
So you win that. You'll see what happens afterwards. Hey, what about the Bills, though? Like, they fire their offensive coordinator and then come out looking like they're Super Bowl champs.
You know, and I don't even think, because their offensive coordinator was
Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey, the quarterback, Miami quarterback, right? I don't even think he was doing a fine job.
Yeah.
You just have to fire somebody.
Yeah.
He
But
was
man,
the
it looks bad
sacrificial
when they
lamb.
fire you and then your team just looks amazing
Well, the Jets are
afterwards.
so-
I get
They're
it, but I
done,
mean,
dude.
And Zach Wilson, I always think, and in the NFL, if a guy's good enough to make it to the NFL, if you can get him enough reps, he'll eventually be at least serviceable. Not Zach Wilson.
That O-line is just as bad.
I'm telling you, I had faith in Zach Wilson to just become okay. But he's not okay.
No.
He's terrible. And he's also cocky, which
Doesn't help.
doesn't help. Yeah. That's the tittle tattle.
The stupidest name ever is the tittle tattle with kickoff Kevin.
All right, weekend review NFL games. If you have something to say, hold your finger up and I'll come to you. Steelers and Browns. It was a very ugly game. I thought the Steelers were going to do it again. I'd even made a note in my phone as the Steelers were about to win that I felt like, because I'll watch these games and take notes, that Pittsburgh is like your average looking buddy who keeps getting hot girls. There's got to be something divine about him that you just can't place.
Something deep inside.
Yeah, they keep winning and being close without really being much. They play ugly and then try to win at the end. And they almost did it yesterday too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The Browns are good. They're good because their defense is so good.
Yeah.
That's not a bad loss for the Steelers. It sucks that they lost, but that's not like an ugly loss. It's not like when Jacksonville lost 100-0 to San Francisco a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like that was an ugly loss for a good team. So the Cleveland defense is so good.
I get that, but that offense is really bad.
I agree.
Kenny Pickett.
I agree. And he wears 2 gloves. It's hilarious.
He's like that golfer. You show up to the course.
You can always
he's wearing
find
2
him.
gloves.
Yes, hilarious. Lions 31, Bears 26. The Bears blow a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. It's very classic Bears, but I thought
Man.
Justin Fields' first game back looked pretty good. DJ Moore, like they scored 26 points. What do you want? Donta Foreman got hurt when I was watching. Man, he runs downhill big, strong, but he got hurt. But the Bears, that sucks for the Bears. The Bears they lost, but they won, I guess. They keep their draft pick-ish.
Yeah.
But the pick they really want is the one, well, that keeps getting as
Yeah.
good with the Panthers.
Yeah.
So, Chargers and Packers. Hey, Jordan Love, not my favorite aesthetically, but played pretty good.
Yeah.
And they're so young that you talk about weapons. And when Watson, your second-year receiver, is like your
That's your star.
yeah, well, if he's like your veteran,
Yeah.
I mean, because Dobbs is also, I think, a second-year player. That's a very young,
Yeah.
and Bacateri, their lineman, he's been out.
For like 3 years.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So that's a good win for the Packers.
Yeah.
And a terrible loss for the Chargers.
Typical
They're
Chargers.
living the years of when the Cowboys had Quincy Carter. Like it's just a tough time.
I don't think so.
The Packers are just on top, man. The Packers are always a top 5 team every season, and all of a sudden your quarterback leaves you for the Jets, and like, who do you got? You got nothing.
Well, you have a guy that you've developed in your system for the past 2-3 years.
Yeah, and he's all right. He's okay. You've been again, big investment, not a lot of payoff yet. It could happen in a couple of years.
What's the Packers record? They're only paying him $5 million a year too, even next year.
Oh, that's nice.
So he's still in a deal where he's not getting paid a lot, so they can put more weapons around him.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I
4
agree.
and 6.
So I agree. It's not been great, but I do see improvement with Love.
Yeah.
It's like Goff has played well.
He had a bad game yesterday, but then he came back.
Sure, he made up for
Hey,
it.
all that matters is those last 2 drives.
Yeah, I hear you.
You win the game. NFL, you win the game. That's it. But Love, like Goff was bad. He was. LA got rid of him. He wasn't good in Detroit. Got the right little situation there. Right coach. Right. Like Goff's top 12 quarterback, probably. It's hard to say that because it's Jared Goff.
But with all these backups in for sure this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Right?
Raiders 13, Dolphins 20. The Raiders hung in there.
a
Jalen
close
Ramsey's interception at the end, I thought he died
Yeah.
when he made that pick. And I was like, well, I guess he's out the rest of the season. He landed on the ball. So I changed it after that.
Oof.
So I think maybe the wind was just knocked out of him.
Yeah.
Was there any injury?
No, he was fine. He got up and hyped up the crowd and everything.
So the Raiders chunked. They run like a post route. And he beat the defensive back that he was. But Ramsey comes from the other side in the air. Whoa. Makes a awesome like highlight video interception and then just stays down. And you're like, oh no. But good win for the Dolphins. They don't have a lot of great wins, but I still say this is a good win for the Dolphins. Are they for real? Yes or no?
No.
I still say probably not.
Wow, you haters. I think they're for real.
Giants Commanders, what a stupid game because I bet my
What did you
eliminator
bet?
on.
Oh no,
Commanders.
on the
I thought
Commanders.
And I
Yes.
kept thinking they were going to come back and do it because all game they were fine. But Saquon, big day. Great.
Yeah.
Because it's on my fantasy team.
Same.
Sam Howell just didn't play well.
Yeah, they were coming back, and then I think he threw that pick six at the very end.
Yeah, it's a bad deal.
Yeah.
You can't get beat by that Giants team.
Did you see the water heater was out for the stadium? So the
Nobody could
players couldn't
shower at the
take
end?
showers? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cowboys 33-10 over the Panthers. Bland got another pick six, blowout win, 4 pick sixes. This score, though, like I mentioned earlier, is not as close as the game was.
yeah. That was definitely a game that I thought was going to be a repeat of Cowboys Giants. It wasn't.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I did watch the whole thing, man.
Thoughts on the team?
Which is hard because, like, again, when the Cowboys are playing at noon, there are so many noon games I want to watch. But if the Cowboys are on, I'm not switching over to watch it. But my thoughts is, you know what? A win's a win. It wasn't beautiful. Dak, again, I don't like. Why are commentators now calling Dak, one of the best quarterbacks in the league?
I think with the Cowboys, you got 2 ways to do it.
Yeah.
They're amazing or they're awful.
But literally 2 weeks ago, it's like, do we want to keep Dak? Like, what's going on with Dak Prescott here? Two games later, man, you're looking at the quarterback of the league.
I do feel like he's getting a lot of love.
Yeah, and I think, Eddie, you're just not used to it.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It's the first time hearing it. And you're like, what? I've been saying this the whole time.
I don't know. I mean,
A win's a win, dude.
a win's a win. I love the defense. Looked great again. I mean, sure, there isn't a strong offensive line there in Carolina, so we took advantage of that.
Never apologize for winning.
But man, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Jaguars whooped the Titans. Trevor Lawrence is awesome. Calvin Ridley had a big day, 34-14. I guess there's really nothing to say about this game other than I didn't watch a whole lot of it because it was never much of a game. The confusing part were the helmet colors because I, again, am severely colorblind to dark colors, and I think the Jags had black helmets.
Yeah, they have black helmets.
And I think the Titans had blue helmets.
Sure, dark blue.
And I couldn't tell the difference in helmets. Which
That's
shouldn't be a
tough,
big
man.
deal because you can look at the jerseys, but still, all the heads are running around. That was part of the reason that I didn't watch a whole lot of that game. Texans beat the Cardinals. CJ Stroud had over 300 yards. First half was great. Had 3 interceptions. But again, they won even when they didn't play their best. And that's a team you got to look out for. That's crazy. It's crazy the Texans are winning. It's awesome. 49ers over the Bucks. Purdy had a perfect passer rating. And I don't know how a passer rating of like 152 or 158.9 is perfect. Somebody needs to teach me the passer rating.
Don't look at me.
Because I can tell you how batting average works. I can tell you about how I would say 95% of the ratings is work. I have no idea. But when they're like, Purdy's the first quarterback with 20 minimal attempts to have a perfect passer rating. I'm like, wow, he's 100%?
Yeah, that's
No, it was like
perfect.
21 for 24, 158 passer
Right.
rating. What the?
Yeah.
It's almost like if it's close enough, that's a perfect pass.
Yeah, they round up.
He did play great. Ayuk is awesome. Debo, they're back. Their weapons are there. But the Bucks played pretty well. The Bucks did play pretty well. I know it was in San Francisco and they lost. And I'm also a big Baker guy.
Big Baker guy.
But I thought the Bucks played pretty well. Bills whooped the Jets. Josh Allen 3 touchdowns. The Jets' offense is terrible. They switch quarterbacks. It's a mess. I mean, there's no way Aaron Rodgers comes back if they're out. Can you pull up the East, the AFC East? Yeah, I just want to hear. I'll go through one more game here and then let's talk about the AFC East. Rams over the Seahawks 17-16. That's a stupid game.
I can't believe they came back and won.
Missed the game-winning field goal for the Seahawks, and the Rams come back. Stafford is like the greatest old guy ever, and not only that, Cooper Kupp got hurt, and they still. I don't like it. I don't like it. I need the Seahawks to win. Okay, give me that.
So we got the Dolphins in first place, 7-3.
Okay.
Bills 6-5.
Okay.
Jets 4-6.
Okay, so the Jets are still hypothetically in it. Because if there are still 7 games left, they're 4-6. Let's say they go 5-2, so that's 9-8. They could.
You need the Bills to crap out. Like,
They have been crapping all year. I don't
know.
have any faith that they can win.
I don't know, man. Last week, this yesterday kind of looked good.
Yes, yesterday did look good.
It gave a lot of
Looked
Bills
pretty.
fans hope.
But also they were playing nobody.
Correct.
Yeah, I think the Jets defense is they're over it.
Yeah.
Like they play well, but they're just we can only do so much.
But again, they're a solid defense.
yeah,
I agree, but it's like if you're getting no help at all, and I know you want to still be great because if you go another team, you need tape. It's
Sure.
all you got to do individual stuff too. But yeah, I could just see being a Jets defensive player being like, it doesn't matter what we do, we're still gonna freaking lose.
exactly.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your NFL look. All right, DraftKings spot. Let's look at college football real quick. As we talked about, Michigan whooped up on Maryland, except they didn't whoop them. They just beat them. But I don't know, man. Michigan, they were just turning the ball over. It just felt sloppy. I felt like they could have won that game big. But and it also, their 1,000th win was like the big story. But you see somebody went and dug up their 1,000 wins, and one of them was against a high school.
Oh no! Of course.
Wait, when was that?
Way back in, I don't know.
13.
Yeah, something like that. They were like, this is not accurate. One of
That's
the wins was
funny.
against a high school back in the day.
Probably an Ohio State fan.
All right, say, why don't we go play that high school, eh?
Bama whooped up on Chattanooga. It wasn't close. Louisville beat Miami. Good little game there. It was down to the end. I mean, they were back. It was a good game.
Yeah, it really was.
I was happy to see Louisville win, though. Florida State whoops Northern Alabama, but Jordan Travis he went out in the first quarter, but his injuries is going to set their whole team back. They're not going to be able to lose one game and still make it now. That sucks for them.
Yeah.
Because he's legit.
Oh yeah.
Georgia, Tennessee was never even a game.
First play.
Oh man, we got to stop
Tennessee.
thinking.
Oh,
We gotta
yeah,
stop-
there was the first play. Like,
the first. Yeah.
And then it was like George was like, "Oh yeah, we're done here. Let's finish them."
Then it was never really a game after that, sadly. Ohio State whooped Minnesota, Oregon whooped Arizona State, The Washington-Oregon State game was pretty good.
Good game.
I thought Washington would win. I thought they'd win a little more. Oregon State was the favorite, but Washington did win, but they didn't score at all second half.
That weather was definitely a factor.
I thought it was the time zone that affected them.
They're all over there. They're used to that time
I
zone.
thought they were 2 hours earlier. Like, this is an early game.
But like a lot of rain. I mean, it would just come really hard and then it would like just chill for a little bit. And every time that rain hit, they couldn't. Is it rain or snow? What was it?
No, it was raining, but I just heard what you said. That was all.
What?
You said the rain would come really hard.
Oh.
That's
Dirt.
you, dude.
Take your mind
That's
out of the
you,
gutter, dude. Come on, I'm trying to talk football here.
Reed heard it too.
Texas and Iowa State game was closer than I probably thought it would. It was they ended up winning by 10, but there was a touchdown 2-point conversion that put it away at the end. Missouri and Florida, close game. I don't think people expected that one to be as close as it was. Missouri hits a game-winning field goal, and good for them. I mean, Missouri's they have how many losses does Missouri have?
They lost one.
So a one-loss Missouri team.
Dos.
Two?
Dos.
Okay, who they lose second game to?
Let's see.
They did beat Kansas State on a field goal earlier in the year too.
Probably
They
like
lost to Georgia.
Georgia.
They've lost to LSU.
Yeah, they're done then.
LSU and Georgia.
Because for like a number 10 Louisville team, however, you almost have to win your conference if you're Louisville in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri's not even going to make it. They have 2 losses in the East.
Yeah.
That sucks for them. Kansas State wins 31-27 over Kansas. Good deal. That's a good game. I was happy to see. Kansas State's like my third favorite team.
Yeah.
Oh, me too, dude. When I see a license plate, a car with a Kansas State license plate, I'm like, what's up, man? Emo.
Emo for sure.
What's up? Go Cats.
So
Okay.
we're going to do a couple interviews here. We went to BYU, and I will say,
Hey,
they're the nicest fans. They're the nicest people, nicest fans. Everything about BYU, I just want to hug all of it
you thinking about going back to college?
to BYU.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm thinking about being a Mormon just for BYU.
All right, let's do it. I'll do it with you.
So we got a couple of these, including the head coach coming up in a second. We're going to chat with, and we thought it'd be fun to go talk to the long snapper because he's the long snapper, and then the other guy's the punter and the holder.
Sure.
Which is always weird to me that you have to do 2 important jobs. You got to punt, and you got to hold for the field goal kicker. So you can't go and do punt practice while the kicker wants to do kick practice.
Yeah.
Because you got to go hold.
And the punter is built like a tight end.
The punter
Yeah.
was like a defensive end, I believe, and was recruited as a defensive end in
The
high school.
long snapper.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
They're both big
Yeah.
dudes.
Yeah.
And they're both like chiseled and nice.
Oh man.
They're not Miles Garrett.
I was gonna
But still. So Austin Riggs and the punter, Ryan Rehkow. Austin is fluent in 4 languages. That's wild. He served a mission in Zimbabwe before playing at BYU. Ryan was the number 1 rated kicker coming out of high school in Washington. Follow them on Instagram at Austin R. Riggs and Ryan at R_Rehkow24. I don't know. Just find him on our page. Hard to
Google
name.
it.
All right, here we go. Here's that interview. Okay, let me introduce you to our new friends. Say your name and your position.
Ryan Rehkow, punter.
Austin Riggs, long snapper.
And so, Ryan, do you hold too?
I do, yes. I'm the field goal holder as well.
Well, that's a weird pressure to that. Because you don't get any credit for anything, but
dang it, if you mess it up.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, that's on the holder.
I know it's a thankless job, but that's specialist in general. That's comes with the territory.
How did you? Let's talk about the holding first. How did that come about? Do you audition? Do you practice? What happens?
Man, usually, like you look in the pros, usually it's the punter that holds for the kicker just because they're spending all the time together. There's like nothing else better to do for a couple hours a day. So yeah, when I got here as a freshman, they said, all right, you guys are with each other enough, get good at it, and that's going to be how we roll.
And so you two are always together.
Yeah.
But what about if you want to punt and it's like he needs you to catch the hold? Like, what if you're like, no, man, I need to punt? And he's like, no, you need to catch the freaking snap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is that not never an issue?
There's some friendly disagreements.
Yeah.
But I mean, you roll with it. Like it's give and take for sure.
So what's a practice day like for you?
Oh man.
Like a Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday, we usually get out probably about 30, 40 minutes ahead of practice, just getting warmed up because that's usually when the field is open. And snappers are getting loose. We're catching snaps, punting, getting the field goal kickers ready and stuff, holding for them. And then usually special teams is kind of right at the beginning of practice. So we're rolling with the team. We're getting our field goals in with everybody, kind of like the live operation, we call it. And then the rest of practice is just be as productive as you can possibly be. So whether it's stretching, whether it's just getting more reps in with the guys, going and talking, making new friends and stuff on the team, it's really just use your time the best you can.
Are you, when you're at practice, are you like trying to stay out of the way of like the defensive linemen? Or we went to another school and they were weird about their specialists. They had them in different rooms. And I was like, that is not right. Because you two are also big. Like you two are like large. Yeah. I wouldn't want to mess with you guys because the other specialists were like this tall.
No respect.
Yeah, no, like you automatically get all respect because you're just big dudes. Yeah. So like what is that? What's that dynamic like?
I would say,
everybody cool to you don't get like picked on, do you?
yeah, so I think the weight room's our biggest way to show like where we're at
Let's
on
go.
the totem pole.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, we lift with the tight ends, defensive end linebackers, kind of that area. Bigger dudes that can throw a lot of weight but are still athletic and fast. And so that's kind of where we're at. And like you said, it's like, we're big dudes, which help us a lot because, I mean, on a field goal or on a punt too, if Ryan wants to take a fake or they're putting pressure on me, we can stand our ground and we're not just going to get blown up. And so the team definitely appreciates that. Ryan helps us out. I think the biggest with the respect with the specialist is how big he punts that ball and just how high it is. So, I mean, everybody respects a guy a lot more if he's the best at it.
That's true.
So that's what we're kind
That's why we get no respect. So that's really cool that you guys
We're gonna
do.
get you guys some respect. Though.
So what about you? When people line up, obviously they can't. It seems like they can't line up right over you anymore. Mm-hmm. Now, have you been in both situations where before they changed the rules, did you ever have anyone line up over you and go right in?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely against the rules, and you occasionally, especially in high school, you'll probably get popped every once in a while. It's more dangerous on a punt because when we go through the demonstration, I go completely through my legs, and so my whole back and spine is exposed. So like, I'll get bumped occasionally in a practice, and I'll get frustrated because it does hurt a lot. But the catch is, they might not be able to line up on you, but if you don't pop your head up, they're gonna run right past you, especially on a punt, and then they have a free release to go hit Ryan. So it's kind of like, how fast can I snap the ball and pop my head up to block?
And then when you pop your head up, though, then you're fair game.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was like this.
They just wait.
Yeah. That's what I was
Exactly.
When you're down, are they ever talking crap to you?
Not a lot. I mean, I try just to be easygoing. I focus on my snap, and then if they made a funny comment prior to my snap, I might tell them that was funny and then jog off after I snapped it. But
do they talk a lot of crap? Like, do they talk like, yeah, you suck?
Is it like basketball or
on a field goal? They'll talk. Yeah. On a field goal, because I'm not moving after I snap it. I'm just sitting there blocking, and then they also want me to have a bad snap so the kicker misses it and whatnot. But I mean, they're not that creative, to be honest. So it's not like they're like saying some funny
specialist.
Yeah.
What trash talk they can bring.
Yeah, they didn't
material for this.
No, they didn't find my girlfriend. They didn't find that stuff out before the game. So
I would have to imagine that you guys played other positions. I mean, you're both extremely athletic guys. What were you playing in high school?
So I was a defensive end, and then I also played left tackle. So we just never came off.
How did you start snapping then? It was because you just needed a snapper and you happened to be good at it?
Yeah, I was pretty good at it, and my dad kind of sat me down and was like, you're not going to look like Tyler Batty, who is 6'6", 285 and shredded. Like, I'm not going to get to that, but I don't want to either. It's like, I want to stay with what I have. And so my dad's like, why don't you just be a long snapper and be the best at it in college? I was like, and go on to the pros too. I was like, that's a good idea. So we talked about it a little earlier with you guys. There was a guy named John Denny, and so he played for the Miami Dolphins. He's an alumni from BYU, played there for like 14 seasons. Just massive dude, kind of behemoth of a man, and he just found out what he was good at, was athletic, big enough, and the NFL loved him. So I'm like, why not just do that?
Did you long snap in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so did it help you get to a college? Like, were they like, do they look for long snappers?
Yeah. So they have we all have different, kickers have different camps, snappers have different camps. Like I went to, it's called the Top 12 camp with Rubio long snapping, and it's kind of like the Elite 11, but for long snappers. So you go there, Ryan and I both went to it, and so you go there, you're the top snapper, punter, kicker in the nation, and then the colleges will reach out to those coaches and say, I want these specs on a kicker, punter, or snapper. And so we had a specialist coach here, and he's like, I want a big, tall, fast guy. Who do you have? And they're like, Austin Riggs. Perfect.
Is the fast advantageous because on a punt you can also run down and try to make a tackle?
Correct. Yeah.
That's what I would do.
You want to have as many guys running down.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to keep your head down.
That's a field goal. Punt, I'd snap and kill.
That's it.
Snap and kill, man. And is there ever a situation where you guys blame each other?
I don't think so.
Like, oh, bad snap. No, bad hold, man.
Because we do that all the time.
Yeah, but not for the same. But we blame each other all the time for everything.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah. We might talk to each other, but we're never gonna like go in front of the team and be like, hey guys, that wasn't my fault. Like, that was Austin. Like, blame him, not us or the kicker or anything. And I think that's one of the main things that you look for in a specialist is you don't want the guy that's gonna shirk that responsibility. So yeah, it definitely comes with the territory. Like, we're spending all practice doing this. We should be pretty good. And if there's a mistake, then own up to it, even if it might not totally be your fault. You still take part in that for sure.
If your kicker misses a pretty easy kick, like a 22-yard chip shot, do you still go, hey man, good job, we'll get him, buddy, or do you just walk off?
We give him a good buddy.
Yeah, that's the thing with like kickers, punters, whatever it is. It's so much more mental than it is physical. Just because you might have like 4 or 5 plays in a game. So like you might have 4 or 5 snaps in a game, and like other positions, it's like, oh yeah, next play mentality. Like, I'm gonna line up right after this one. For us, it could be 20, 30 minutes, could be a couple hours before we're like getting the next rep. And so if you're easy to get down on yourself or looking for excuses and stuff, that's just gonna roll right into your next rep whenever it might be, and it's just not gonna be a good mix.
I understand that, but what if he misses like 4 in a row, and like after the 4th one, you're like, I don't know what to tell this guy.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't even know you, dude.
You definitely can't add to it. I can tell you that. You have enough guys on the team that will come and be like, hey, why'd you miss that? And he's going to say, I didn't mean to. It's like the most clear and concise answer. It's like, I didn't mean to miss that. Sorry, man. Right. So you have enough guys that will come and ask him, like, what happened. We all know, like, I know Ryan knows how to hit the ball perfectly, a 70-yarder, whatever he wants to hit. If he doesn't hit that, he has a better idea of what went wrong than I do. And so I'm never going to be like, hey, your drop was a little to the left. Like, he knows more about it than I do. And so it's kind of like, we're good. Like, no worries. I'll give you the best snap, and I'll try to do my part as much as possible. And if it's a low snap, I think Ryan actually punts the best when it's a low snap. So if
Is that true?
Sometimes. I tell myself that.
Yeah. Hey, if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. We still got to work with it.
Hey, Ryan, he definitely makes me look better. So if it's a little off, he's like, okay, we're going to bomb this.
Yeah.
What kind of punter are you? Do you do the thing where you run around and find the, or do you
rugby
just,
style. I'm more like pocket punter.
so you just sit there and like bring a baby and you bust it?
Exactly.
What's your longest collegiate punt?
Collegiate punt is 83 yards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, was that the perfect roll? I mean, did it hit probably like 60 and then just fire off?
That one hit probably like 70.
Really?
And then rolled into the end zone. But like right off your foot, you're like, oh yeah, I felt that one. Like it's like a nice drive in golf.
You put it 70 in the air?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Golly.
Do you feel the guys coming? Like, do you even focus that, or do you like?
Yeah, I mean, you try not to. You're not like staring at him as I'm gonna like punt the ball or anything. But, I mean, we're human, right? Like, if you feel guys flying past you, it's like you're aware of it, but you're not like hyper focused on it. If that makes sense.
Have you ever got away with? I mean, someone like nicking your toe, and you're like,
Oh
and they're
yeah,
like,
100%. You sell that as much as
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because
Yeah,
I would.
That's 3 yards for the team. You got to do it.
And I imagine most times it doesn't work, but occasionally you can really sell it and get it.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like dependent upon the angle that they come in, where the refs are looking for. But if you feel contact, you're just dropping like a sack of bricks. Like just make it look pretty and lay there for a sec. Get the attention.
Do you hate when not because they're about to score, but just generally you versus him, when the returner breaks contain and he's coming, you're the last guy up?
Oh yeah,
Is that just a terrible feeling?
the worst feeling in the world. Yeah, we just had that against Texas. It was not fun.
Are you trying to position them to angle them to the sideline? Like, what if you see the guy coming? What are you doing?
It's so like bang bang. So you're just, I want to get at least a piece of him. I want to get something on him, but like the punt returners, they're fast. Like they're back there for a reason. They can make stuff happen. And like whenever you got a guy with 30 yards head start running at you and you're stationary, it's going to be really tough to kind of make up for that. You do the best you can. If it doesn't end up working out, like that sucks. But again, you got to move on and can't dwell on it too much.
Can you always see him when he catches the ball?
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think there's ever been a time where I'm like, did he catch it? Is it
Because the guys are in the way?
Yeah, it's usually, I think it's pretty easy to tell just because you see the body language of everybody else around them. And so they kind of know, okay, it hit off of him and it's rolling around, or fair catch, whatever it is.
2 final questions. Have you just nailed the perfect coffin corner in a game before?
Yeah, a couple times.
God, that would be that's got to be the greatest.
It's pretty
That's
satisfying.
gotta be the greatest.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just walk off the field, mic drop.
And it's like at the half or the 1 or the 1.5. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then 2, what's your shortest shank?
My shortest shank.
Oh boy, we're gonna talk about that.
Well, he did 80. I'm curious to
I'm
know.
gonna like 27.
And then when that happens, to hit off the side of the foot, like what happens when there's a?
Oh man.
Because all mine are shanks, so
Yeah.
I only know what I do.
Bones punted a few.
Like 14 yards, yeah.
14.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
14. Backspin on it.
I was terrible. It was terrible.
So you still doubled it.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's a lot of stuff because there's just a lot of moving parts with punting, but a lot of it is like, okay, I either had the ball too turned in or like a finger nicked it, and then you're just swinging so fast. If it's not perfect.
Do you know immediately?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's literally, that's the worst feeling. Like,
Okay, is nailing a coffin corner better than how bad? Which one's the more severe? Is it worse or is it better?
it's
Those
kind
two.
of like I hate to lose more than I love to win.
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah.
Same.
It's kind of like
So
that.
you hate the shank
Yeah.
more than you do the.
That's the one, like you could hit perfect punts every time, but you have one of those, that's what you're going to be focused
It's
on.
also got to be a weird thing, and this will be the last thing I say about this, to have a position where you need a good player, but people don't want to see you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see the punter, because that means we have to punt the ball.
Exactly.
And you got to be like, I can't wait to punt. And I'm like, I don't want you to punt, because
Yeah.
that's your job.
Exactly.
And you want to be good at it and show how good you are, especially to get collegiate honors, to go to the next level. But nobody wants you to have to punt.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Ryan?
What was that?
Did you know that?
We don't look
people
forward
actually
to
did that?
punting.
I thought everybody just wanted to see punts.
No.
Yeah.
We love it when you do good. We don't like it when you have to go out there.
Yeah.
So
I look at it, it's a win-win. It's like, we got a first down, great. Team's doing great. Go if I win. Let's do it. If we don't get it, sweet. I get an opportunity to go out and try and help the team. But it's never, it's like only your mom wants to see you out there if you're the punter, really.
oh, now me too. I'm gonna be.
Yes, mom, wife, everybody.
Yeah.
Family. But other than that, yeah, it comes with the territory. It's all right.
I think the worst part during a game is when it's 3rd down, we have to huddle right by where the line of scrimmage is at, and you have all the offensive players, and we're like, punt alert, punt team's coming out soon. And it's just this awkward because everyone else is like, no, we're getting the first. And I'm like, we got to get ready just in case. We don't want to go, but just in case, we're here.
All right, next up is our sit down with BYU head coach Kalani Sitake. Did you, in our video of Too Much Access, read edited in some footage of him playing running back. It was like Mike Allstott
Oh yeah, pretty amazing.
Beast.
at BYU. Just
Big dude.
a train. Because he doesn't look like he'd be a running back. He's got a bigger guy now. But no, he was a bigger guy then. Just,
Yeah, just ball of muscle.
man, crazy. So Coach Sitake played at BYU in 94 and then 97, 98, 99, 2000 under Lavelle Edwards, who's a Hall of Famer. He's been the head coach since 2016. You can follow him on Twitter at Kalani Sitake. And here this dude.
I want to hang out with him some more.
Makes me want to be a Mormon. And I don't even think he's a Mormon.
I don't think he is Mormon.
I know, but I'm just like, whatever you want, Coach. I love the dude. All right, here you go.
Coach, first I want to say that I'm coming into this with a headache because I'd seen running backs run through those chutes before on television mostly. Looked pretty easy, like foamy. Like maybe it's like a massage when you ran through. That one out there was like big, thick, fat wiffle ball bats.
Yeah.
That
Probably heavier than the wiffle
that didn't
ball.
want to bend.
Yeah.
And so is that one stronger than normal, or am I just weaker than normal?
I think that's the standard.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
That's the standard one that we got.
Yeah,
so,
thanks.
So we're the weak ones.
That was not pleasant for me. As a former running back yourself, what was the version of that whenever you were running? Was it
It was similar, maybe just a little bit more rusted and
metal instead of
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe that's just my memory. I think when you get older, everything was a lot tougher back in the day. I think it might be the same stuff, but it's a very useful tool for us to get ready, especially the running backs, take on hits and things like that.
When I was playing, not the same, not comparing it, but when I was playing high school football, I know, I hate to say it, but I got to preface it with something. We didn't get water when we wanted to.
Yeah.
That was the thing. It was like water was a reward, and you didn't get it unless you deserved it. Now, that doesn't happen now, but was that, in your day, was that kind of the same
Yeah,
deal?
I remember. I mean, I don't know if kids drink out of a garden hose anymore, but we did, and I think our water was the hose hooked up to a pipe that had holes in it.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right. Had all the
and
holes.
then you just kind of, that's what you did. You went in and drank from that, and I think you had a couple water breaks in a 2-hour practice, and now we got water available for these guys after every play, even. So. Yeah, it's different, but I mean, I don't know if that was wise by our times.
I don't think it was wise at all, actually.
We're just
Looking back, I think it was a
dehydrated.
pretty
Yeah,
terrible idea. Pretty terrible idea in
So
general.
I think I'm thank goodness for science and technology that we can put the kids in a better position to have success, because maybe we lucked out by just maybe we didn't move fast enough. These kids are a lot more explosive and a lot more talented than we were back in the day.
I was talking to a couple of the players that were talking about the sports science team crew you have here. What is their main goal, and what is it to help the players with?
Well, I believe in being innovative and creative, and so a lot of times you have to stay ahead of the curve, and you have to kind of be able to forecast change. And I think sometimes we can become creatures of habit in sports, especially in football, because you just say, "Hey, this is the way we've always done it." And I think the rules change. There's a lot of different things that change constantly, and if you're not changing with it, you're going to find yourself way behind it. And so we bring the sports science into it because the research that they do and the data they have gives us an opportunity to be better and improve. And so that's what we're trying to do. I don't think it's anything unique that we do. I think everybody's kind of going that way, and I just know that if you don't innovate and you don't create, then you end up pretty much falling way behind, and we don't want to do that.
I have a couple friends that are the coaches at their alma maters, and when I talk to them, it feels like it's a little bit like Batman, and what Batman says, or in the movie, it's like you die a hero or you live long enough to be a villain. And they worry about that because they're at their alma maters, and if it doesn't go right, they're worried. Scott Frost is an example in Nebraska. Like, they love that dude. Like, that's their dude, and he went up and it didn't go right for him. Josh Heupel at Oklahoma, and now he's at Tennessee. With you, it feels like this Provo, BYU, it feels like they love you more than any of those other coaches that I know. Like you're their dude. And is there an extra pressure on you because you got to represent, one, because this is your school, and two, because, well, you're representing everybody that went to this school and this town?
Well, I think for me, I grew up, first of all, I love being a player here for Lavelle Edwards, who's a legend, and I had a great experience with him. So a lot what we do in the program is what he did for me, and so the culture, the environment, we're trying to create that family atmosphere that he did for me when I was a student athlete, because it works. And so I enjoyed it. But before that, before I was a coach and before I was a player at BYU, I always loved BYU as a fan. So I think for me it's maybe a little bit different because I grew up a BYU fan in Hawaii and just in the North Shore, and there's guys in my neighborhood that played for BYU that I grew up and they look like me, and I see them playing at BYU. So to me it was an easy follow, but my family loved BYU, so we always kind of, I don't remember ever starting to cheer for them. I just always did. And so I think for me, I understand where the fans come from because I am one. So I can understand the frustration. I can understand the excitement, the energy. And so I think for me, I just try to feed to that as much as possible and try not to get so much in coaching mode. I mean, I'm a coach. I get it. I'm responsible for the program. But again, my roots are that I'm a fan first. And my responsibility as a coach is to provide entertainment and make the fans happy, as well as connected to taking care of the players. And so if I do that the right way, I think it should work out fine.
Speaking of that, Coach, if it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and you're like, nah, we just got to punt this, but the crowd's like, no, we got to go for it. Coach, come on. Do you give into that, or are you just like, no, man, I'm the head coach. I think this is the right idea?
I mean, I am a fan too. So when you say the fans are doing that, I'm doing that too.
He's yelling it too.
I get what they say. So yeah, we go for it a lot on 4th down. But I mean, I'm the guy that when I played Madden, I tried different things. I used punt block as a defense just for fun and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Automatic run stopper.
Yeah. Field goal block, stuff like that. I just want to try things out, and I think that fans can appreciate the aggressive play, the desire to want to make the play now, but I also have had enough time as a player and as a coach that I can do things within reason, and I think everybody looks at the analytics and the data and say, okay, this makes sense to do it this way, and the data, the research says you should go for it in this situation. I still feel like there has to be a feel for it and kind of a gut and an instinct that you kind of have to approach to it as well, and considering the momentum and who's in the game at a certain time. So I try to factor all of that in, but even with that being variables that I consider, I still make the wrong decision sometimes. But if I'm going to make the wrong decision, I want it to be aggressive, and I want the fans to know that the reason why I did it. I know I'm going to have to answer for it sometime, but I think I'm okay with it as long as I have the right reasoning and the right data to back it up. But at the same time, sometimes when you're in a really difficult spot and you just have a feeling to go for it and it doesn't work out, that's all right. I mean, that's life, And I wouldn't have never met my wife if I didn't do that. So I think it's okay to be bold and to dare to do things, and even to fail. I think it's okay to fail in the great things, and then you learn from it.
I got to follow up on that.
Yeah, me too.
What bold did you do to meet your wife?
Was it 4th and 1? What was it?
No.
She like,
it's
go for it, Coach.
No, I think it's just like just having the courage to introduce yourself and talk to people. It's always scary. I think the fear of rejection stops a lot of people from trying it, and sometimes failure will be something that can really stop momentum. I try to look at the best parts of life. I think sometimes we focus on the negativity and like a bad breakup, for example, and all that has done is get you closer to finding the love of your life. So I really believe there's adversity that happens in your life, but how you respond to it really gets you the prize at the end. And that's if I didn't think that way, and everyone was raised that way by my father and my family around me, then I don't think I would be sitting here right now.
Do you ever go out after a game, win or loss? I mean, you don't really know, or maybe you don't like the other coach, and you just don't say anything to them, but you just move your mouth, like so the camera thinks you're saying something?
No, I actually had tons of respect for every coach that's
every single one of them?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I try to get to know them. Here's the thing. I try to find the common bond. Common bond is that we do the same job, and that we, when we got into it, our main motivation was to mentor young people and to be great teachers for them and get a great example. So I can respect that in the other coaches. I actually try to get to know them and try to be friends with them. I know that that's not my job. I guess most coaches don't really care to be open to that. But you'd be surprised. I think most of the coaches they're open to it. I haven't had any problems getting to know other coaches, and they're really friendly. So to answer your question, I haven't had one coach that I've actually met that I didn't like. I like them all, and in fact, I've become really good friends with many of them.
Lane Kiffin?
Oh yeah, I've met Lane before. I mean, he coached with Norm Chow, who was a mentor of mine, was an offense coordinator when I was here, and Sark, who was a teammate of mine.
At USC?
I appreciate his honesty, and I think he has a unique perspective. But you have to think about what can you learn from the things that he does. Is he has a legendary father as a coach, and I think he does some great things as a mentor too. I know players that have played for him and enjoyed his mentoring, and so I really appreciate what he does in the game.
Hilarious. Lane's hilarious to me.
Oh yeah,
and his dad Monty, when he was Tampa Bay, is really where I spent the most time, like watching Monty and what he would do all the time. Final 3 questions. You get the job. You're now the head coach. It's your alma mater. Do you have a minute where you look in the mirror and you're like, this is crazy? Like, I get to be the guy that gets to wear the Y.
Yeah, every day, and it's a dream for me. So I don't. My goal is never to take this job for granted, and to make sure that I am humble enough to realize that day one, the day that I'm right now, my 8th year as a coach, that I have to have that same energy and that same excitement as it was day one. And I think I've been able to do that. But it's just, I'm human, so it's not easy. That's why I have wonderful people around me, like my wife and my other loved ones that can keep me humble. And I have no problems. Listen, I know that it takes a lot of hard work to get here, but the hard work and the sacrifice were mostly by the people that love me. And all I did was kind of listen and be obedient to things that they asked me, the advice that they give me, and then it just worked out for me. So I would always tell young people that if you want a good life, then make sure that you have wonderful people that are around you that support you and love you from day one. The day ones, and then just listen to them. And anytime they criticize you or give you some advice, then there's nothing wrong with listening and kind of applying it to you. So for me, that's. I try to live my life like that, and the day that I don't enjoy it, I lost that day one excitement, is the day I should retire.
Coach, I played in high school, and
You made fun of me for saying that.
no, I'm just saying I played in high school, and Bones and we've been able to do this at a few schools, and we suit up and we put the gear on, we run the drills, running back drills, and all this stuff. And after like 20 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm like, this is exhausting. And you guys do it day in and day out. And I promise, Coach, I will no longer sit on the couch and criticize what you guys do, because that's some hard work. Your boys are putting some hard work in. You're putting a lot of time in, and we just sit at home with a beer in our hand, being like, "This is like, come on, why would you do that? That's a stupid play." And what do you think about that? Like, what do you think about us?
Well, it's well, and I appreciate the fans, because without the fans, then this game doesn't move.
But we're critical, Coach.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And stupid.
But if you do your job, then all your fans are happy, and my goal is to make all our fans happy. But the other side of that is for our players, you look at the people that are willing to do it, the players that are willing to work all these days, all these hours, for only 60 minutes of an opportunity to play. And so when you think about our guys, we have 123 guys on the team, and they practice and they train all year round. Some mandatory, some on their optional, and they only get 12 opportunities, if they're healthy, to play 60 minutes each. And if you're a starter, you probably only play like maybe 22 minutes of that. And so when you think about it and you add up all the time and you invest in it to only get maybe a chance at 22 minutes as a starter, and you're a backup guy or you're not even on a travel squad, and they are willing to do it just for the chance to play on that field, that's something special. And then you're going against a team that feels the same way. So how can you not respect them for doing the same thing? And the stadium's filled with fans that love what you do. But I think that if the fans understood the sacrifice and the energy, the investment that these young men put into it, and the coaches, then they could maybe understand a little bit more. But there's nothing wrong with fans getting excited and having fun. And if as a fan, maybe put down the beer and drink a root beer once in a while.
Exactly, that's what I say. Have just much fun.
Then you won't be as critical. Yeah.
Last question. Talk about being in the Big 12 for the first time.
Yeah, we love it, and we knew we were going to be in it a couple years ago, and when the announcement happened, I'm so excited about the leadership in the Big 12. I'm excited about the camaraderie and the connection that I have to the other coaches. And you talk about other coaches. The coaches in the Big 12 have been amazing, and talk about like sportsmanship and just the business relationship we have. But then to also for them to be so welcoming to me and to the other new coaches into the conference, it's been really cool. We've been part of the meetings for a couple of years now, and all those guys have been amazing. And then to see them as coaches and then to have them include us was something really special. And I love being a part of this conference. And then we get to go out and see all these fans at the different stadiums on the road, and then they come here to visit. It's been really cool. I've enjoyed it. Now, on the field, the field stuff, I mean, that's what I have to control, but I can't really complain. I just love being a part of something that's really special, and I love that our leadership's innovative and trying to find different ways, but the partners in this conference are amazing.
Coach, appreciate you. Love how you do what you do. I think a lot of what you do speaks for itself, and a lot of what you say when you speak just reinforces what you do. And so, a big fan. I didn't like to beat the crap out of us this year, but whatever. But other than that, congratulations.
You got a great team. I mean, it happens to all of us, and I mean, the thing is, that's what makes football fun and exciting.
That wasn't fun for me, so no, that was not true.
I know. We still cheer for them.
So
you can't talk them into the positive part of
that
this.
environment was awesome, though. It was amazing for us to be there in that setting.
You won. It was awesome.
Yeah, but it was we lost to Texas. That was an amazing experience too. The scoreboard just didn't work out our way, but I think there's always some positive things to take from it.
Not from me. Not from that game. Nope.
All right, Coach, get this guy a root beer. We'll be okay.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Coach.
it, guys.
Okay, so let's do this before we wrap it up. Promises. I believe I promised UNLV.
You had UTSA.
Hey, great promise.
Both of them. That's right.
UNLV was last week.
Yeah, that's right. Got it.
Yep.
UTSA. I promised UTSA would win, and they did. And I texted the coach after the game, like right when the game was over, and he texted me back. It's pretty awesome.
Dude, we watched that on the bus. That was fun.
After Louisville. And
Oh, really?
It was a late game for San Antonio because that's Central Time Zone. It was like 11:30. We're on the bus coming back from Louisville from a comedy show. So no money from me going to the pot.
Nice work.
Reed,
I had the Cowboys minus 10.5.
no money from you.
No money.
Eddie,
I had the Cowboys, 10.5, minus 10.5.
No money from
No
you?
money from me.
Kelvin,
Guys, I had to pay up already, okay? Steelers +1.
what's in the broken promises jar?
Lots of money.
Do we have a tab on it yet?
No, it's like 100 because I think last time I checked it was 160, 170.
And then let's talk about our NFL picks. We all picked every game in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
We're
I
just,
keep forgetting
we're just
about
finding
this.
ways to put money in the broken promises jar. So first, because the last place is the only one that has to do it. Kevin, who finished first?
Reed and I tied again for first.
God dang, dude,
my
we suck at
goodness.
this.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Okay, who finished third?
Who got too cute?
Yeah, who finished last place? Just tell me who finished last place.
There's a tie.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So it's void.
Yeah.
Just put in 5 apiece.
No, we
I
finished,
like that.
No, we finished last. We have to go 10 each.
Bones, I'm running out of money, dude.
Come on.
I'm getting to the point where I have to clear it with my wife now.
I hear you, but you can win it all back in like a couple weeks.
Correct.
What week do we do this?
Yeah, 12. So next week? 2 weeks?
Oh, already?
I thought it was 13.
13
That
maybe?
feels
I
early.
think it's
12
13.
feels early.
Let me run through my final notes real quick. Bryce Young, I think will be good. I wrote that. I watched him the whole game.
That's what you wrote down?
Yeah, that's all I wrote. I just want to remember to say it. The Bears are solid with Fields being healthy. They choked at the end. I wrote that down.
I like that.
Stroud with 3 picks. Kept trying to give the game up, but the Texans defense and rest of the team wouldn't allow it. It was a good win for the Texans. The Giants pick 6 versus Washington. Oh, the throw out of bounds. Did you and a toss out of bounds. Oh, that's what it was.
DeVito?
He was throwing the ball out of bounds, but that was they intercepted the ball and ran it back. It was a throwaway pass.
Oh, I just saw the end of it. I didn't see that. Oh,
that was
okay.
exactly what he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds, and that's where the interception was.
Sam Howell.
Yeah, he didn't throw
Howell,
he didn't
okay.
throw it far enough. Oh, I was pissed about that. Eliminator got me. Jalen Ramsey's big high flying pick for the Dolphins. He's hurt. Hope he's okay. I wrote that. Hope he's okay. I don't know why. I guess I was just
You're probably thinking you're going to send him the notes.
maybe so. And then Herbert loses again. His final pass was blocked. Boom. By Lime. That was it. So
What were your notes on the Cowboys?
I didn't make a note. I knew I would remember.
Okay. You just wrote, how about them Cowboys?
I didn't write that. So Eddie, we owe $10 more.
Yeah, man.
Kevin owes $10.
Mm-hmm.
We have one more week, and then we bet go 2 weeks for the money, right?
Yeah.
Or is it week 13? So no, we have 2 weeks then, because this is week 10 we just finished, right?
I think we just finished 11.
Yeah, it's week 11.
Okay, I must be looking at records that have had bye weeks then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just finished 11.
So one more week, and then we play for the money,
Yep.
where we eliminate one person each week.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Do you want to hear my betting stats for the weekend?
Oh, please. I feel like you did pretty well.
Well, the problem was they were like, if you meet this criteria of betting this many bets at $150 a bet, you'll get a free $75 bet. And I was like, I only have 3 more to do, so I'm just going to bet 150, 150, 150. And I lost all 3 of the 150s
But you got a bonus bet.
of 75. So overall,
They got you.
got me. That last game last night's what got me. Okay, so here we go. Over the weekend, NCAA bets, I bet 25 bets. Total wager, $3,763. Total winnings, $5,510. For a plus of $1,747.
That's a good week. Making money at Smiles, whatever.
Making smiles.
Smile.
Get him out.
The NFL, those last bets got me. Because I bet all those 150s on that game, and I lost all of them.
Yeah.
Total bets, 17. Total wagers, $4,770. Total winnings, $4,689 for minus 81. Over the weekend, I'm plus $1,666. I had an $8,000 betting weekend. Now, for the whole summary of the year, total bets, 366. Total wagered, $62,240. Last week,
Risk taker.
Last week I was at minus 2,500. This week I'm at minus 857.
Okay.
I'm working my way.
You're climbing.
I had 2 bad really bet. Not this week, but the San Francisco and the Arkansas bets were multiple thousands.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to dig out from. So, Kevin, what was my worst game of the weekend?
Washington. The Commanders. You had them minus 3.5, minus 1.5, minus 8.5. You
Oh,
lost $450 on
You were believing on that one.
I kept thinking they were going to come back.
Sure. I think we all did.
So I lost 450.
450.
And what was my best?
But your best was the Thursday night game, the Bengals, where you bet 2,000 total between 2 different bets, and you won 36.
I forgot about that.
That was early on, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that on the show Friday or no?
Yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I won how much?
Yeah, you won $3,638
Attaboy.
Let's
Attaboy.
on the over and Bengals plus 14.5.
That helps you claw back.
I squeaked,
there.
and I squeaked those, man.
Oh, yeah.
Very last touchdown drive. Oh,
I hit a good one. I hit a 4-part Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown, CD Lamb to score a touchdown.
You hit one of those?
David Montgomery to score a touchdown, and Tyreek
You bet it
Hill.
up there on the top. I saw that. I saw that one. How much you bet?
I just put $5 on it.
But how much you get?
I won like 20.
Let's go.
$22.
Who cares about what the money is? It's the return on it. It's
I'm with you, dude.
4 times.
I took one of those, too, that had the Giannis and Luka over as well, Saturday night. And they
Hit?
both hit $5, $46 or something like that.
Wow.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I took a couple of those. There were like 10 leggers that they had up there, and they all missed.
Okay.
Hit the button, Mike.
I did bet a
Blow it.
I did bet a 13-game parlay and missed 1 game.
Dude, I listened to this podcast, and they do a parlay,
But I missed
and
early.
I bet on that one.
But I
and
missed early, and I was so pissed.
Mm.
I think I missed 1. Maybe I missed 1 and I missed early, and I didn't check back, and maybe I didn't win the last 2. I don't know. What podcast?
25 Whistles. They do a 3-game parlay. I put some money on that one. Didn't hit that one.
No, those guys are idiots. They haven't won since like week 2.
I know, dude. I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah. The new episode with TCU is up of Too Much Access. Thank you guys for being here. Eddie, blow the whistle, and are we forgetting anything, by the way?
We're
Are we
good.
Good?
Good.
All right, blow it. We'll see you guys later in the week.